Welcome to Begin, Build, Blossom, your business journey with Clarita, the podcast where we will discuss valuable insights, resources, and motivation to fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Let's build a supportive community together. Subscribe now to Begin, Build, Blossom, and let's embark on your business journey. Hello and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Begin, Build, Blossom. I'm your host, Clarita. Today is a special day because it is our season finale. And guess what? We are recording from where it all started for me, the beautiful village of Labrie, St. Lucia. You may hear some sounds that you're not used to hearing on the podcast, and that's okay. We're in Labrie. My daughter and I have been privileged to be able to spend the summer in this beautiful place that I call home. And I do foresee having difficulty getting her back to New York, but it's something we're going to work on. So for the podcast, I want to start off by extending a huge thank you to all of our listeners. Your support, feedback, and enthusiasm have been incredible throughout this whole journey. Today, let's look back at the guests that we've had on the podcast and some of what they've shared with us. So I will start off by first saying the name and one of the things that they said that stayed with me. And it may not be a direct quotation, but I think it will express what they meant. So one of the first guests we had on the podcast was Shotsani Saki of Lunar Reflections. She said, set intention by saying it out loud and writing down those intentions. We had Janice Leonard of Cognitive Shifts Psychotherapy. Explore values using a values assessment quiz or questionnaire to solidify what is important to you and your business. CJ Kelly, CJ the Smart Guy of Smart Guy Taxes. Be the best that you can possibly be at what you're doing so that when you meet others, you can be prepared to add value. Bianca Enujwe of Bianca. Failure is a sign of growth and you only fail if you quit. Aisha Smith of Sage Education Consulting. Say your dream out loud. Tell someone what you intend to do. Jesse Ramos of BBT Fitness. Take action, trust yourself, and get started. Dive right in and be open to learning as you go. Be honest about what you do not know. Neil Panji of Podleaf Productions. Mindset change. Remind yourself that there is at least one person that requires your services. Find that one person. DJ Brainboy of DJ Brainboy. Spend time around those you'd want to be like or who have similar interests as you. H. Randy Hughes of Counting Pennies LLC. Work smart. Example. Realizing that it is time to bring someone on, whether it be an administrative staff, business partner, or a mentor, and figure out how to do that. Alberta Henry of Alberta Henry Photography Limited. Be consistent in your product and delivery. Grant Atkinson of Framework Law Group PC. Keep going. Let yourself vent. Meditate. Take time for wellness and exercise. Have a sense of humor about the journey. Olajuwon Ridgway of AB Ridgway Wealth Management. While working in your full-time job, take advantage of trainings, continuing education, and opportunities to go back to school. Overall, get educated and sharpen your knowledge. Read, read, read. Tadia Simeons of Bram-Simos. You need startup cash to buy the essentials needed for the business. Jacqueline Gathers of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors. Do something a little different to separate yourself from everyone. Kelly Gonzalez of Totally Booked. Do it. Taking the first steps like getting an employer identification number, choosing a name, starting a bank account, all those pushes you to get it done. Na Adole Papo of Na Adole M Papo, LMSW. Meditate, pray, sit with yourself and make sure that you are in alignment with your purpose. Samanda Rene of Loving the Journey. Take time to evaluate your life and figure out what steps you need to take to get to where you want to be in your life. Shanita Joy Marie of Choosing Joy. Get out of your own way. Safia Paul of Ale. Use other people's money, including loans and grants, instead of using savings. Adriana Leo of Money Navigator International. Commit to doing one thing. It doesn't have to be everything all at once. As part of the podcast, we encourage our listeners to reach out to our guests who are all so very willing to speak with you. So go ahead, reach out to any of those guests and they would be really happy to speak with you. Reach out, network, build community. Be inspired and inspire in return. On a personal note, I would say the trip out here to St. Lucia has taught me quite a bit. Over here, I see so much of the entrepreneurial spirit being displayed. When I go down to my village, I see someone is always doing something. I went to the beach over in Rodney Bay yesterday, and there were so many people selling on the beach. I met this wonderful vendor called Yvonne. We had a wonderful conversation. You can find her on Instagram. We've posted her on our Instagram, so get to know her as well. One of the things I've learned since being out here is facing fear. When I first came, I thought to myself that I am never going to drive in St. Lucia. Just because I didn't actually start driving here. I started driving after I moved to the US. So I'm very intimidated about driving in St. Lucia. And I've survived every time I've come, but this time around I came for a longer period of time and I came with my 4-year-old. So life looks different with a child. I remember one day I had my car parked in front of the apartment where I'm living. My wonderful brother made his car available to me. I left that car parked in front of the house while I took a bus from the south of the island to the north. And what does that include? That includes taking a bus from Labrie to Vieux, then from Vieux to Castries, then from Castries to the part of Rodney Bay I wanted to be at, then from Rodney Bay to Bossejou, and then another bus from a part of Bossejou to the other part that I want to be at, and then the reverse to get back home. So for those who know St. Lucia, they will definitely understand. But for those who do not, let's just say that it's a lot of bus time, a lot of travel time. And with a 4-year-old, it's a lot of crying and I don't want to walk. So that makes it very difficult. So after that day, I told myself, you need to get over this fear of driving and just do it. And I did. The next time I had to go to Castries, I jumped into that car and I drove to Castries with a friend on board who I felt gave me the confidence I needed to do the driving. So at this point, I will shout out Ophelia, my very good friend out here, who's my ride or die. So that worked out. And the experience was so different. I was able to do things on my own time. I was able to ensure that my daughter was comfortable. We were able to go more places, do more things. It was definitely a very different experience. I remember speaking to one of my life coaches, Lisa Dublin. Shout out to Lisa Dublin. She is my coach. And I spoke to her about that. And I told her that my brother, Sydney, actually told me that I passed him like a bullet. So I thought to myself, from learner to bullet. So that's how much I transitioned from taking the plunge. So all this to say that sometimes we find things difficult, and that happens in business as well. When we take that first step, it's intimidating, it's difficult, but with life experiences and the assistance from people like mentors or just friends who support us, we can actually get to where we're going. From learner to bullet. Thank you, Lisa, for that. So I just really hope that this podcast is also one of those resources that you will use to help you on your journey. We bring on some amazing guests, those who just started in business, those who probably have not started. That is a sneak peek into one of the things we will be doing next season. We'll also be talking to people who are thinking about starting a business, but they haven't done that. So wherever you are in business, we hope that the stories that you hear through this podcast will help you to get to where you want to be, to get started, or just to inspire someone else or be inspired. And to close off, I would say it's been a privilege being your host this season. I've learned something from each person that I've reached out to and those who've reached out to me. I've always believed in lifelong learning, and I'm doing just that through this podcast. We've learned about mindset change, the importance of networking, being part of communities, viewing failure differently, and simply listening to each other. And now for a little glimpse into the future. We have some exciting plans for the next season of Begin, Build, Blossom. Expect more incredible guests and deeper dives into topics that you care about. You won't want to miss the upcoming episodes. Before we go, again, a huge thank you to all of our listeners, guests, and everyone who has supported Begin, Build, Blossom this season. Your passion and engagement make this podcast possible. Stay connected with us on social media, including our YouTube channel. Go and listen to those episodes again. You will not regret it. And keep sharing your journeys with the hashtag Begin, Build, Blossom. Look out for new episodes next month, September. Until next time, keep beginning, keep building, and keep blossoming. Goodbye for now. See you soon. Sarah, wait. Sarah, wait. Let me cancel this. Oh my gosh, where is it? Sarah, wait. Thanks for listening to this episode of Begin, Build, Blossom, Your Business Journey, a CME Accounting LLC podcast. Please subscribe and be on the lookout for our next episode. If you'd like to share any feedback with us, please email us at podcast@cmeaccountingllc.com.